Hello, Tom.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you?
Good.
There we go. All right. Well, we've got quite a few more people that are supposed to be joining us. I'm going to go through a couple of just housekeeping things. Welcome, everyone. My name is Sarah Whitmire, and I'm Director of Education at Lake Conistea Nature Preserve. And we are grateful that you are here to join us tonight. Please, we are going to mute everybody for a majority of this, and we will let y'all know when we need to hear from you. We are going to want to at some point. We have some door prizes and things like that. So without further ado, I am going to let our chairman of the board give us a proper welcome here.
Hello, my name is Bill Bridges. I serve as chair of the board of directors for the Conistea Foundation, which operates the Lake Conistea Nature Preserve, this beautiful 400-acre, just wilderness, gorgeous diamond in the rough in Greenville. We have grown over the years. We have over 12 miles of trails, half of which are paved, and the other half are natural surface trails. We estimate we have over 100,000 visitors a year here at Conistea Nature Preserve. We have had a lot of construction going on in the last few months, and if you've been here, you've noticed. Probably the most noticeable thing, or one of the most noticeable, is the new River Otter Bridge. Seeing it delivered by Chinook helicopter flying in and being dropped into place was an incredible experience, and it was an incredible event, which we appreciate very much all the help. There's also been a lot of work done in improving some of the other areas, the West Bay Observation Deck, the East Bay Observation Deck. A number of the natural surface trails have had work done on them. A number of the boardwalks have been repaired or in some cases replaced. We're now having to do our annual barbecue, the Great Conistea Nature Preserve Barbecue, in a little different way than we've done it for the last couple of years. This is a virtual auction, which we've had before, and we are not able to gather together in person like we've done the last couple of years for the barbecue. But please, please support us. Join in and participate in the auction. Order barbecue for yourself and for your family, and support Lake Conistea. This is our major fundraiser for the year, and we really, really appreciate not only everybody who comes out to see us and enjoy this beautiful place, but also the support in supporting our barbecue and our major fundraiser for the year. Thank you very, very much.
Okay. So we're gonna throw it over to the guys in the Henderson Meadow.
Hi, everybody. Buddy Mills here. Thanks for being with us. I was asked to say a couple of words about why I got involved in Conistea Nature Preserve. This says it all right here behind me. I mean, what a beautiful night. And I wish that everybody could be here with us and we could be having our barbecue event right here. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen that way this year. But please participate with us over the next coming weeks. Anytime any of us gets involved in something, it's due to a personal reason. And Conistea Foundation, for me, is very personal. I have an autistic son, and if anyone has or knows of those of us on the spectrum, we're walkers. And living in a small 3-bedroom bungalow off Augusta Road with a walking 6-year-old can be a very difficult thing. And so Conistea became our refuge over the years, where the two of us would just be able to come and walk for an hour in this beautiful, right in the middle of the city, preserve. And one of the most important days for me in my life as growth with Conisty was one of the days around Christmas about 5 years ago when we had a great snow. And it wasn't a dusting, it was a snow. And it was right around Christmas, the day before, the day after, something like that. And John Houston and I got up and we were over here, first tracks in the morning, in here for 2 hours in the snow, the sound muffled, the beauty of the thing lit up with ice and snow. And I made the decision, I said, I've got to get involved. And so from the time I became involved, I've been learning about Conisty and how important it is physically. Obviously, it has a spiritual importance for me and all of us who seek refuge in nature. But the physical location and aspect of Conisty is absolutely critical. And I've been educated over the years about how important it is. You know, Tom Kester calls it the kidneys. My grandmother would call it the innards. But Conisty sits at the end of a long range that runs through Greenville. It's the Reedy River in the low spot in our county, the watershed. And I happen to live on it. I live on the Swamp Rabbit Trail up near Traveler's Rest. And every day I get on it, and it is wild. It is wild. It is hawks, deer, bear, owls, everything that I watch things hunt in my backyard. And this area, which is really acts as our most important center of our body in Greenville County, Conisty is at the end of it. And I think that it's absolutely critical for us not only to protect it now, but also looking forward. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited about being a part of Conisty is the philosophy of it. Dave Hargett is the driver of Conisty, and Conisty is an advocacy organization too. We do not sit on the sidelines. Through Dave's leadership, we are always pushing to protect and grow the importance of Conisty and this whole corridor in Greenville. And we don't always, we push, I think, and we make our case about in conservation, and Dave is very outspoken, and I think it's really important that we have true advocacy where we're not afraid to make people uncomfortable in order to bring attention to what is so important to us. This is our belly in Greenville County. So thanks to Dave for that leadership, and all of us that are involved, let's remember the spiritual, the physical, but also the advocacy and the philosophy.
Buddy, that's great. Thanks so much
Thank you.
for that. Would you tell us how you got into cooking barbecue and how we started this event 2 years ago?
I started cooking barbecue 30 years ago or so with friends and family in the low country of South Carolina. And I really took a vinegar sauce that's a base sauce down there in the low country, hot vinegar sauce, and began tinkering with it and actually have competed in some competitions. You know, hotter, closer, that meat doesn't stay as long, so you get the hot spices. And in the middle of South Carolina, you get the mustard sauce, that old school mustard sauce. And then in the mountains, you get the tomato sauce. And I tinker with it and try to do all of them. And I cooked in the first competition back in the North Carolina Championship back in the mid-90s. And it was really interesting. I was working for J.C. Bradford at the time, and mainly selling municipal bonds. And funny enough, I took to Tryon, North Carolina, a place with one gas station and 3 brokerage firms. So I figured there might be some wealth in the city. So I did a barbecue team, and we competed. And lo and behold, I finished in the top 5 and got invited to Nashville and Memphis in May and all of them. And it became a nice hobby that I do now for charities. It's a little loaves and fishes thing where we can cook barbecue and join the community and raise some money.
So if that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. You need to come you need to pre-order your barbecue plates that Buddy's going to be cooking.
Yeah.
We're going to have homemade sides to go along with it. So make sure you go on our website and pre-order those barbecue plates. And now Aaron is going to give away some door prizes to those of you who are watching. Thanks, Buddy.
All right, I'm Erin Knight. I'm on the other side of the camera tonight, but I'm excited to have the fun job of giving door prizes. And Sarah's going to help me out because she can see all the faces a little faster than me. If you don't have your camera on, this is the time to turn it on, or you won't have a chance to wave at Sarah. So we're going to be doing this from a trivia perspective. See how much you know about Lake Constantine Nature Preserve. Your odds of winning are fairly good. We might go with the closest answers tonight. But how this will work is you get to choose from one of 3 prizes. Whoever's hand Sarah sees first, she's going to call on, and if you get it right, then you can choose either a Lake Constantine Nature Preserve hat, and they come in multiple colors, a shirt just like mine, they come in blue and white, and you can choose your size, of course, or if Buddy's talk of barbecue didn't convince you you need a plate, you can get a plate for free if you get one of our trivia questions right. So those are the 3 choices. We'll connect with you later to let you choose what you want and connect how you're going to get it, because there are a lot of micro decisions in that too, right? We won't worry about that right now. We'll just reach out to you later. So
Erin, people are being shy and they're not turning their cameras on. So why don't we give them the out that maybe cameras aren't working and whatnot, and first person to put it in the chat, to put it in the chat will win. Okay.
Okay, that works. So your first question is, and there will be 3 total tonight and some more throughout the life of the auction. And I'm suddenly being inundated by bugs. That is the beauty of nature, right? What is the name of the nonprofit that owns and operates Lake Constantine Nature Preserve? I see some of you moving who really should know this answer.
All right. Man, who got it in first? We got lots of answers. Tim Taylor got it in first. Conestee Foundation.
Well done, Tim. Congratulations. We'll be emailing you to figure out what prize you choose. And our second question, how many trails are there in the preserve? The person with the closest value without going over, these are apparently the same rules as Price is Right, is going to win. How many trails are there in the preserve?
Any more guesses? All right, that one goes to Tom Kester. There are 27 trails in the preserve. So we've definitely grown a few.
Well, congratulations to Tom and Tim. And stay tuned. We're going to have another question for you later. Now I'm going to turn it over to Mary.
So we are really glad to have you all here tonight. Those of you who have been here the last 2 years know that we've had this barbecue under a tent in late September. We've done that for 2 years. But because of COVID, we just cannot do it this year. I have my mask here, which I've been very faithful about wearing, but we are outdoors and we are 10 feet and 12 feet apart, so I feel safe taking it off. But I wanted to let you know about our online auction, which is a big part of the fundraiser. Certainly the barbecue is. We want you to pre-order your dinners, but the silent auction is going to be a big fundraiser for us, we hope. We want you to participate actively. So I am really pleased with our silent auction. It's an online auction because we really like to promote nature items, things that really promote the love of nature in our natural world. And this first one I want to show you was on our newsletter recently. Sarah Mandel, who is a local artist, does this felting, and she literally sat in front of the South Bay and created this wonderful felting. So that's one auction for item. Another is this beautiful necklace that I'm wearing. You can wear it as a necklace or you can wear it as a pin. It has a magnet on the back. And local artist Connie Schultz, who lives part-time in Greenville and part-time in Spruce Pine, and is a student at Penland. She has produced this wonderful copper and pewter artwork. So that's another item that is up for auction. And Erin is going to bring in some other things. So this item right here is actually a photograph that Tommy White took. Tommy White, as you know, is iconic with conservation in the upstate of South Carolina, not just Greenville. He's the father of Brad White, and he has done more for conservation and protecting land in the upstate of South Carolina than really anybody else. In addition to being a conservationist and an attorney, he was a wonderful photographer. And we have 3 of his photographs that are matted and framed and that are for auction. This one is a beautiful one of a sunset.
Y'all need to bring everything closer to the screen, okay?
Okay. Now this one is a painting by Judy Cromwell. Speaking of land conservationists, Judy was very active in conservation and still is. She was a founding member of the Conisty Foundation, Natural Land Trust, and has done so much for land protection and protection of our natural resources in Greenville County and the upstate. This is a painting that she created as a result of losing some trees in her neighborhood. So we're calling this Lost Trees, and it's an original painting by Judy Cromwell. So we really hope that you will bid on this. The next item is a photograph of a hummingbird lighting on a pink morning glory. We have a photographer that comes, Gigi Han, who comes. She splits her time between Greenville and Atlanta. She has family that lives in Greenville, actually Simpsonville. And she comes out and takes photographs of birds and wildlife and whatever she is captivated with. These are just a few of the items, and we hope that you'll go on the website and look for the auction, the online auction through online charities. And please bid. Know that the money is coming back to Conisty Foundation to help us to take care of this beautiful 405-acre nature preserve and take care of the trails, keep it safe and enjoyable for as many people as possible. Should I introduce Dave? No, not yet. We're going to do something else yet.
All right, we're gonna share a year in review that Erin Knight worked really hard on, and this will give everybody kind of a recap of the challenges and the amazing things that we were able to do in 2020. So I will get that going.
See that smack?
All right. So again, thanks to Aaron for that awesome recap. And now I do believe we turn it over to Dave.
Thank you, Sarah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. I guess that means everyone can hear me. Well, welcome to everyone. And there are a grand total of 3 of us standing under the Grand Oaks in Henderson Meadow. It's a spectacular evening. We aren't going to let you look at my face this evening because I've had a dermatological disaster over the last few weeks, thanks to a new dermatologist, but I won't go there. It is a really splendid evening and a splendid place, and it would be wonderful. This is the best weather we've had, better than the last 2 years. 2 years ago, we had a thunderstorm, and the other year it was scorching hot. But we wish you were here with us, and we had a big tent and a big barbecue and a crowd of 300. But we'll do that again next year, perhaps. The video that was just shown, I think, does a splendid job of showing that we haven't really missed a step at Lake Coniston Nature Preserve and the Coniston Foundation this year. We've had the same challenges everyone else has had in terms of, having to deal with our own personal safety, our families, our friends, our communities, and, nationally and globally. This pandemic is a once in several generations experience. But like everyone else, we have worked hard to be resilient, and we have adjusted and we've adapted, and we still are. We're continuing to do that. The impacts to our education program and conservation programs in terms of outreach to communities and to students and kids and families have been severely impacted, and that's what brings us all the most joy. But at the same time, every day we've seen them out here enjoying the wild space that we have and the trails and seeing nature and learning individually on their own timeline and scale and motivation what they want to about this wild place. It is indeed the wildest place in Greenville. The pandemic has forced us to rethink some of our services to the community and how we do education and conservation outreach, and we're still sharpening those ideas and trying to come up with new creative ways. And I have to say, I couldn't be more proud of our staff and their resilience and their patience and their creativity in what they've been able to do. They haven't missed a step either. They may have been working at home in many cases, but they have continued to do marvelous work and continue to impact the community through the preserve. Remarkably, despite the limitations the pandemic put on us all, we've had an incredibly productive year in terms of improving the preserve, our trails, our infrastructure, and getting major projects completed, partly because we already were under contract to perform a bunch of those projects. But this year we've finished major projects funded through a South Carolina Parks, Recreation, Tourism Recreational Trails Grant. And that included the rehabilitation of the West Bay Observation Deck, the Heron Spur Boardwalk and Ramp, the Raccoon Run Boardwalk, the Woody Walk Boardwalk, and the Flattail Trail Boardwalk. Those are 5 major projects. And one of the interesting things is we did those projects in what we started in December 19 after last year's barbecue, and what has turned out to be the wettest year. Hydrologists call it the water year, and they measure the precipitation in the cycle from the 1st of October, today, through the 30th of September. This was the wettest water year in Greenville and the Reedy River Basin since 1901, 75 inches almost. And the normal is 47. So we got all that construction done in the swamps in spite of all that and multiple very serious flooding events. We also were able to replace the River Otterway Bridge in June in an incredibly spectacular fashion. Our new steel bridge, 85 feet long, was and located high above Marrowbone Creek, so it's in no danger of ever flooding out again. was dropped into place with surgical precision from the South Carolina Army National Guard using a giant Chinook helicopter. It was a spectacular, epic experience to see that. And we call out to County Council Chair Butch Curvin and the Guard for making that all happen. A great training exercise for them, and saved us a lot of money in our construction and installation costs. We also want to thank REWA and the Priester Foundation and the Rose Ball for helping fund that. But we're still working on that project. We're working still on the connector ramps. We've had the bridge in service since within 2 weeks after it was installed. So, you know, folks are enjoying it, and thousands of people have already crossed that bridge. So we need continued help with that to fund those continued improvements. And now we're working on rehabilitating the East Bay observation deck. We don't have grant funds for that, so we're repurposing, recycling materials that we've salvaged from other projects, and it's coming along really nicely. We're having a lot of good volunteer help on that. And we've done all these projects this year despite not having had Hands-on Greenville Day, which customarily brings us about 2,000 to 2,500 hours of volunteer labor, of very capable labor that's disciplined and focused and productive. And we didn't have that this year. So we've had to be resourceful and adapt to pretty challenging conditions, but we've gotten a lot done. Again, I'm sorry you can't be here with us. We're also admiring our bats and thanking them for being part of our mosquito control. And more out here than I thought. And I hope they're finding our new bat boxes. And it's been a gorgeous sunset this evening. One exciting development this year is that as I try to phase out, after 10 years of involvement in Conacy Foundation as executive director and tractor driver and chief chainsaw guy and whatever needs to be done, we created the new position of conservation programs manager. And one of our educators, Taylor Phillips, stepped up and said, I want to do that job. And she's very capable, incredible, thoughtful, attentive to detail, creative, diligent, hard worker. She's been a fabulous understudy over the past months, and as of today, she's it. She is completely in charge, and where I'm helping, I'm working for her now. So she knows the park as well as I do, as well as anybody does. The preserve. And so she will be responsible for the operation and maintenance and management and day-to-day sustainability of over 400 wild acres and all the other land that we manage on behalf of the city of Greenville and REWA as well. That allows me to gradually fade away into the wilds of the preserve and still be available to help as needed. And also, after 10 years last month of functioning as the executive director, I'll be fading away from that role at the end of the calendar year. And so we don't have an announcement to make yet, but we will have soon. We have a lot of excitement about a prospective individual that we are negotiating the final details on to come on board end of year, and we think that person will be able to take us in additional directions, new directions, and to a higher level of operation as the nonprofit. So stand by for the announcements on that. Conacy Foundation has existed 20 years as of last month. We were founded in 2000. I was privileged, along with Dana Levitt, dear friend, to be the founders. And I was the one that hadn't escaped the scene of the work, and so I'm still here. But after 10 years as executive director, I'll be fading away into this year. I think what we've proven in 20 years is we've got this. We know what we're doing. We are a serious entity. Everyone respects us. We have no enemies. We have lots of friends, and we deliver something extraordinary to the Greenville community. So we have an exceptional place, a incredible asset to the community, and a very remarkable and unique story. So we're focused on the future now, and whatever the new normal is, we're ready for it and eager to take it on. This place sells itself, and the Conistea Foundation is simply the vehicle that helps move it along. So we need your help more than ever. I think we all now recognize that we need wild green places like this more than ever in this pandemic. Places for us to escape, sanctuary for us, for peace and quiet, which right now out here in the Henderson Meadow is just glowing with the sunset, and it's just a marvelous setting. But we need these places more than ever, and our wildlife need them more than ever. So I am getting the signal to wrap up, and I'll just thank you all that we need you more than ever. We appreciate you engaging in our auction and our barbecue process. I also thank our board member and our board members and our board chairman, Bill Bridges, and especially our most valuable player, Buddy Mills, whom you heard from a little earlier, our barbecue master. So I will close by saying thank you for all you have done for us in the past and all you will do in the future. Now I'm giving this back over to Mary. Thank you very much.
So as you can see, we are still live, but it's getting very dark. Dave, thank you not only for your comments about the foundation and what we accomplished in the last few years, but also for your leadership. We're going to be doing much more to honor Dave in the coming months to thank him for his leadership. Phenomenal what he's done, not only for Lake Conistea Nature Preserve, but really the whole county. I want to remind you that we have the online auction going for 2 weeks. Please go on and bid and up the bids, and just know that your money is going for a good cause. And remember also to order your barbecue plates. And we appreciate it. And do come out to Lake Conistea Nature Preserve. You will be amazed at what has been done in the last year. Even though we've had COVID and people have been staying at home and wearing masks, it is unbelievable what has been accomplished here at the Nature Preserve. You'll come out and be amazed. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and blessings to everyone. Good night.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that a wrap?